Hello, welcome to the next podcast of Andy Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. Eventually Roger did come round on Wednesday evening, which was the good news, but unfortunately the bad news is I just haven't had time to edit the podcast together yet, so I'll have to do that next week. Hopefully I've got a bit of time this week. But it was an interesting evening, talking about some old things. There's some lovely old lithographs and paintings, photographs. He's a big Sussex man, so he had quite a bit of Sussex content with some rare photographs of Sussex players and a team that played against the Australians in the 1900s. So some interesting things there from Roger. So hopefully I'll have time this week to edit that together. So I thought this week just go through some of the things that I've purchased over the last few weeks, and also this week the Cricket Magazines came through with the cricket memorabilia catalogue, or magazine should I say. This is the latest one, which is number 128. There's some interesting articles on there. You can see there's a Radio Times front cover there, which is a magazine that lists all the TV programmes for the week. That's Dennis Lilly on the front of there, so there's quite a few bits in there. There's a nice piece on by Ken Burney there on his collection of Wally Hammond things, which is going well with that collection. And then also some nice pictures there from the former leader of our group, Keith Ahurst, who has got some nice photographs there of George Parr and a few others, Mort Locke and Lockyer in there as well. So he's got some nice old postcards there, or pictures should I say, carte de visite. So that's quite a nice thing. Right up on the night's auction, which is coming up again in November, and I think Tim's going to be online again with that one, so have to put your bid-ins or get your fingers on the buzzers when it's ready. Also the Bulletin from the Cricket Society came in this week, which is full of all sorts of interesting bits and pieces from meetings that we can hopefully get to. I think it's one of the oldest societies going, this one, along with a few other societies like the Wombwell. But an interesting society to be involved with. All sorts of things happen. They've got a cricket team and all that sort of stuff, so it's quite an interesting society to be in. So just going into a couple of things that I bought last few weeks. Is probably the best thing was this G.F. Watts letter. If you've not heard of G.F. Watts, he was a famous artist in the Victorian times, who was influential in the symbolist period for artists. He frequently exhibited in the Royal Academy. So this is a nice letter from 1895. Nice signature at the bottom there. This is from Compton. If any of you have been to Watts Gallery in Compton, which is near Godalming, not very far from my cricket club at Farncombe, interesting visit there you can have and see some of his major paintings and all sorts of other bits and pieces. So that's quite a nice letter there. That was from the John Arlott collection. He paid £9 for that a few years ago. Consequently, I didn't pay £9 for mine, but there we are. That's life. I think I paid about the right money, so I'm quite happy. Another thing that came from the John Arlott collection through to me was David Frith's England versus Australia, which is one of the first copies, 1981, and it was dedicated to John Arlott from David Frith, who went over to see him on his island of Alderney. So that's quite a nice edition. I've got a couple of later editions of these, but nice to have an early one on the connection with John Arlott and David Frith. The other things that come through are these pretty rare pamphlets. This one, 1928-29 tour. This is by Monty Noble, who writes up about the possibilities of Australian players who might have a selection for the Test series, and also all the players from the England side that go touring in 1928. So that was a good tour for England, winning 4-1 with Wally Hammond getting a lot of runs. So there's some nice pictures there. There's Patsy Hendren there and Staples. Staples unfortunately didn't play any matches. He went home with lumbago after a couple of days. So quite a nice rare leaflet, that one. Another rare one is this 1909 Test Match Cricket, England v Australia. This is quite a nice rare booklet. Plenty of information on there, all the teams, and a bit of write-up on the test matches. Another nice one there is West Indies 1951-52. Plenty of information in that one, and some nice photographs. There's Walcott's there on the front, the 3 W's, and Goddard. On the back there is a nice advert for Stamina trousers there, with Ranji Singhi on the back there. Looks like he's got looks like an MCC cap of some kind, but could be the college cap. Another one is the Australians 1948 Test Team by Robertson, Glasgow. There's some nice photographs in this one. There's one there of Ray Linwell. Something you don't often see, actually. There's some quite rare ones. There's Sid Barnes there with a New Zealand cap on. I understand that was given to him by a New Zealand player. So there's some nice write-ups there. There's the Don there. Famous photograph of cover drive. Here's the New South Wales cap. What else have we got in there? There's a rare picture there of Keith Miller before he started bowling. That's a really early one of the Victorian Cricket Association. Might even be a Colt side, that one. But obviously making an impression there. Another one is all about the Australians, 1926. Not a very big one this one, but some interesting information of all the players in there. Arthur Maley. What else have we got in there? Samuel Charles Everett and Tom Andrews. So some nice information there. Charlie McCartney there, and J.M. Gregory. Meet the Australians. There's another one here. This is 1953, which is another nice little booklet. This one's got lights and things on the back of there, which was used by cricketers. I remember having some lights and pads when I first started. But again, you've got some good write-ups here. That's on there, Doug Ring and Don Talon. So Meet the Australians, it's called. So we do. There's Keith Miller again there. A couple of nice poses from Keith Miller. It's full of information. That it's got one good thing about these little booklets. There's all sorts of things you can glean and possibly write up about somewhere along the line. There's Charlie Barnett there coming off at Nottingham after a big score. Some pictures that you don't normally get, so that's quite nice. What I did forget to show you was this. This is actually G.F. Watts here. So that's the name of the man. He's got his head cut off. He's got a funny hat on there. So he used to wear funny hats, but that's just a picture I put off of eBay, off of the internet. So anyway, that's about it for this week. Hopefully I'll have time to put together the Roger Packham video, so look forward to doing that, and hopefully see you next week. See you again.